to get my back blown out in peace. You think I got time to talk about a divorce that's a year old?
Teyana Taylor has just been blindsided by one of the most heartbreaking and unexpected betrayals of her life. Her ex, Iman Shumpert, has filed a full custody lawsuit demanding legal and physical custody of their daughter, and he did it in complete secrecy. No warning, no prior conversation. Just cold, strategic paperwork that hit Teyana like a thunderclap. And when the news broke, the world watched as the strong, composed artist known for her resilience crumbled in front of our eyes. Her emotional breakdown was raw, unrehearsed, and deeply human. In that moment, it was clear. This wasn't just a celebrity family issue. It was a personal war unfolding on a public stage. Fans everywhere are stunned, trying to make sense of Iman's motives, while Teyana tries to hold on to the very foundation of her motherhood. The legal documents speak volumes. Iman isn't asking for joint custody or minor adjustments. He's demanding full legal and physical control. The filing claims that Teyana's parenting is inconsistent and goes so far as to question her emotional stability. That kind of language in court isn't casual. It's strategic and carries heavy legal weight. What's even more shocking is that Teyana, by all reports, had no idea this was coming. There were no discussions, no warnings, just silence, and then a courtroom ambush. For someone who has shared so much of her life online, from motherhood to music, this move wasn't just unexpected. It was a personal earthquake designed to destabilize her and catch her off guard. And it did exactly that. After the documents were leaked online, Teyana couldn't stay silent. She turned to Instagram to let the world see what this betrayal had done to her. In an emotionally gut-wrenching story, her voice cracked as she whispered, "I did everything for her." Her eyes were swollen, her mascara streaked across her cheeks, and in her hands was a photo of her daughter. It wasn't a staged post. It wasn't PR. It was a mother falling apart in real time, trying to process how someone she once trusted could try to rip her child away. Fans didn't just watch, they felt it. This was more than celebrity gossip. It was a real woman breaking down in public, surrounded by a cloud of legal threats and uncertainty. As soon as the clip spread, social media exploded. Within hours, people flooded Twitter and Instagram with messages of support and outrage. Hashtags began trending across platforms, and the online community was split between grief and fury. Some fans vented anger toward Iman, accusing him of weaponizing the legal system against the mother of his child. Others, while concerned, tried to understand if there was something deeper happening behind the scenes. But the overwhelming energy was with Teyana. Her pain was visible, and her authenticity in that moment shattered any doubt about how serious the situation truly is. It wasn't long before TikTok began flooding with reaction videos, users showing themselves crying or analyzing the clip frame by frame. In just a few days, Teyana's heartbreak had become a viral emotional event. Legal analysts have now stepped into the conversation, and their insights only make the situation more alarming. These professionals, familiar with the high-stakes nature of family law, especially when public figures are involved, have been dissecting every move made in this custody battle. One thing they've made clear is that full custody filings, particularly those filed without any prior mediation or discussion between the parents, are extremely rare. Such a legal step is seen as highly aggressive and immediately escalates tensions between both parties. It essentially sends the message that one parent believes the other is fundamentally unfit, or that immediate separation from the child is necessary for her safety or emotional well-being. In this case, Iman's decision to file for full custody has put Teyana under significant pressure. Not just from a legal standpoint, where she now must respond swiftly with legal counsel and counter-arguments, but also emotionally. Having her parenting questioned in public, on such a large and visible scale, is no small weight to carry. Lawyers analyzing the situation are divided. Some question whether the claims of instability or emotional unfitness that are reportedly part of Iman's case will actually hold up in court. Without strong documentation, therapist evaluations, school reports, witness statements, it's difficult to convince a judge that a mother should be separated from her child. But at the same time, other legal voices caution that in situations like these, the damage is often done the moment the filing becomes public. Even if the court eventually rules in Teyana's favor, the emotional toll has already been taken. The child, the parents, and even extended family are thrown into a storm of scrutiny, speculation, and stress. And most tragically, the child at the center of this case will inevitably feel the impact. Courts do their best to shield children from the harshest parts of custody battles, but when both parents are celebrities and the story is playing out in real time online, there is no real hiding place. The internet doesn't forget, the cameras don't turn away, and the emotional residue of public conflict has a way of sticking, no matter how young or seemingly protected the child may be. While the legal process continues to unfold, the internet has done what it always does: fuel theories, debates, and speculation at lightning speed. One of the most popular theories circulating among fans and followers is that Iman may have discovered something behind closed doors that triggered his decision. Maybe it was a financial misstep, a private conversation he stumbled upon, or some form of betrayal, real or perceived, that made him feel the only path forward was legal separation from Teyana in terms of co-parenting. The theory suggests that something broke down behind the scenes, something that shattered whatever fragile piece may have existed. Another wave of speculation leans more into the emotional side of things. Since rumors first surfaced linking Teyana to actor Aaron Pierre, some fans have speculated that Iman's pride took a serious hit. For those following the timeline closely, it seems the custody filing came shortly after photos and industry whispers connected Aaron and Teyana, not just professionally but personally. This theory suggests that the legal action isn't about parenting at all, but about power. Some argue Iman is trying to reassert control, to remind the public, and perhaps Teyana herself, that he's still a central force in the narrative, especially where their daughter is involved. In this view, the lawsuit becomes a weapon, a way of reclaiming space and visibility during a time when Teyana's name and face are increasingly associated with new beginnings. Then there's the idea that the timing of the lawsuit is not a coincidence, but a calculated disruption. Teyana has been on the verge of a major career shift, teasing new music, creative collaborations, and even hints at a documentary-style project. Filing a custody case now, some believe, could be Iman's attempt to create noise around her, just as she's trying to shift the spotlight to her work. By forcing her into a legal and emotional crisis, he might be trying to paint himself as the more stable parent, or simply make it harder for her to focus on expanding her brand. These are the kinds of layered dynamics that fans and observers are now sifting through as they try to understand what's really going on. As the story unfolds, people have also started to revisit Teyana's recent social media behavior with a more critical eye. In the weeks leading up to the custody filing, there were signs, some subtle, others more overt, that hinted at emotional distress. Her Instagram stories occasionally carried cryptic messages, emotionally loaded quotes, or late-night reflections. That seemed heavy with meaning. There were also behind-the-scenes clips and candid interviews where she appeared deeply tired or emotionally overwhelmed. In hindsight, these moments are now being interpreted differently. Was she already dealing with immense pressure before the lawsuit dropped? Was the strain of co-parenting, fame, and personal transition taking a toll long before it exploded into public view? Some fans say yes, absolutely. They point to interviews where she seemed teary or distracted, posts that spoke of heartbreak, and resilience, and videos where her usual spark felt dimmed. But others push back against this interpretation. They argue that emotional expression, especially from a Black woman in the public eye, is too often misunderstood as instability. For them, Teyana's openness is a show of strength, not weakness. She's a working mother, a creative, and a human being navigating heartbreak and growth. To be vulnerable in public doesn't mean she's unfit. It means she's honest. Parenting isn't neat or polished, and showing emotional depth should never be used against someone in court. Ultimately, no matter where public opinion lands, the reality remains that this custody battle has become deeply personal, painfully public, and emotionally charged. The facts will eventually unfold in court, but the human cost, especially to their daughter, is already being felt. In a situation where both parents claim to act out of love, the hope is that love will ultimately guide their next steps, away from the spotlight and toward healing. Now, the legal wheels are turning fast. A court hearing could take place within days, and there's a real possibility Iman could win temporary custody, even if just as a placeholder. Teyana is expected to respond aggressively, possibly with a countersuit or a full statement revealing her side of the story. What makes things more complicated is the potential involvement of Aaron. If he's subpoenaed or brought into court, things could get messier, fast. The legal process might extend into financial reviews, text message records, and testimony from family or friends. And when courtrooms start diving into private lives, the truth isn't always what it seems. The courtroom could become a battleground not just for custody, but for character. At the heart of all this chaos is a little girl whose world is being pulled in opposite directions. She's young, but the effects of this kind of custody war can leave lasting scars. Fans are begging for someone to intervene, whether it's family therapists, child psychologists, or even the court itself, to ensure this child doesn't get emotionally trapped in the middle. Some advocates are calling for both parents to step back from the media and handle this privately for her sake. Others believe that since the damage has already been done, the only way forward is full transparency and accountability in court. But the one thing everyone agrees on is this. This little girl didn't ask for any of it, and she deserves peace. Teyana Taylor has stood strong through fame, music, motherhood, and public scrutiny. But this moment, this full custody lawsuit from someone she once loved, is breaking her in ways she couldn't have imagined. And fans, no matter where they stand, are feeling the weight of it. This is more than a custody dispute. It's a mother fighting for her child in front of millions, with everything to lose. And while the courts will make the final decision, the public is already taking sides. Some believe Iman's actions are justified, that he's doing what's best for his child. Others believe Teyana is being punished for simply being vulnerable. No matter what side you're on, one thing's for sure. This story is just beginning, and its outcome will affect not just two parents, but a family's entire future.